Welcome to Juicing with Jen Detox Diaries video blogcast number 2. Originally, what I was going to do was I was going to take the Gerson Therapy Prohibited Food List, rank it number 1 through 52, number 1 being the easiest thing to give up, and number 52 being the most difficult thing to give up, and possibly some things that I would not be giving up as well. I began to do that, and one of the things that I started to know on the Gerson Therapy Prohibited Food List is that you could actually kind of clump some of these foods into the same categories. So when I started to do that, I actually typed up a quick worksheet on foods we should be avoiding, and it didn't just come from the Gerson Therapy Prohibited Food List. It also came from other resources that I've gathered, like Eat to Beat Cancer. I also kind of put what we should be eating in place of those foods, and then also foods we should be eating, like eating the rainbow. So if you would like that list, that is on juicingwithjen.wordpress.com. So that's on my website. But also, I listen to Spirit, who actually guides what I talk about and why. And so first, I kind of heard Spirit say that it's not necessarily about ranking things 1 through 52 and giving them up, but about categorizing them and making the best choices. But the thing that I also began to hear Spirit say to me today is that this video broadcast is not just about me and what I'm doing. What it's supposed to be for is you, the we, and to give you practical tips to think about your lifestyle and how you're living, and some possible goals that you might want for yourself. Everything that I'm going to share is going to be free because I think that's how Spirit wants it to be. And if I have people following me in my fold, I'm kind of being their medicine, then you can have the information, share it with the people that you know, and be the medicine for those around you, and eventually we'll be like drops of water in a pond. So what am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about 5 steps to get you thinking about you, your lifestyle, your attitude about living, and if you even want to set some goals for yourself. So the first thing is that I discussed last week was that basically there are 2 different kinds of attitudes to living life. Here's my simple, I really wish I had more technology and free time, but being a mother and going through radiation, this is about as high tech as I'm going to get right now. So last week I talked about how there are basically 2 different ways that we can live our life. The first one is that we are going to avoid dangers at all costs. And on the other side, we have, you only live once, you might as well do whatever it is that you want to do. What I would like you to do is I'd like you to take a moment and think about where you fall on that continuum. Are you the person who likes to avoid danger? Are you the person who likes to, I only live once, so I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do? Or do you fall somewhere within that line on the continuum? So take a couple minutes and just think about that for yourself. Okay, so the next question that I'm going to ask you is what has you watching this video blogcast? Are you curious? Hey, there's this woman, she's made it through cancer. I'm just curious, like what happened here? Why did she make changes? Or are you hoping to gain some ideas on how you can live your lifestyle just a little bit better? So, do you have a goal for yourself? What is it and what inspired it? For me, my goal is to eat healthier in order to avoid cancer so that I can be around for my friends, my family, and for myself. A lot of times I've found that the only way I make major changes is when something bad and dramatic happens in my life. And I know I'm not the only one who makes changes based on that. So what happened in your life, and why is that causing you to make some changes? Again, think about that for yourself for a little bit. All right. This blogcast is going to be about a healthy lifestyle and thinking about that. And just as there's different theories for how we should be living our lifestyle, either protectively or however we want to, there's also different theories that I found out about how we should be eating. So, again, my fancy chart. On one side, we have people who only eat raw vegan, which means no animal products whatsoever and no cooked foods, all including eggs and dairy, all the way down to anything goes. These people are going to hit the McDonald's and the fast food anytime and every time. We all generally tend to fall somewhere on the continuum. So again, think about what your lifestyle is right now. Are you like a raw vegan vegetarian? Are you anything goes? Or are you somewhere on this scale? So think about that for a minute. All right. So the one thing that I would say that I hear Spirit say to me time and time again is stay balanced. That's going to be one of my themes, and that's going to be one of my suggestions for living a healthy lifestyle. When we go back and we think about these scales that I've talked about, avoiding danger at all costs versus anything goes. If you are watching this, if you're living, guaranteed there's at least one person, if not many people in your life who want you to be here. And you're on earth for a very specific purpose and reason. And so if you are living to avoid danger at all cost, you're going to be basically locked up in your bed, in your house. You're not going to be interacting with people, and you're not going to be able to serve your purpose in the world. On the other hand, if you're living as anything goes, then you're going to be destroying either spiritually, physically habits that will, again, prevent you from living out your purpose, or at a very bare minimum, being there for the people who need you and love you. And some people think, well, I'm not going to change. I don't want to change. This is how I am. I'm going to be blunt and honest. That's actually a pretty selfish way to live. Ask any one person who has lost somebody that they love what they would wish for. It would be time spent with them. More time. And that is how at least one person, if not many, feel about you. So live balanced. Make some healthy lifestyle changes. But yeah, you do only live once, so don't make them where you're going to be cranky. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit as well. Same with eating. Okay? Stay balanced. You could eat raw vegetarian, vegan, or you could eat anything goes. But again, that message that comes to me is stay balanced. There's actually a book out there called Eating for Your Blood Type. And I'm not sure if that is really medically necessary, but I did find it quite interesting. When I looked at type A blood types, they tended to be vegetarian. When I looked at type O blood types, which might be my husband's blood type, he always said that he felt the best when he ate a steak. And when I looked at eating for type O blood types, they actually talked about how O blood types actually do need to eat meat. So the first thing you need to think about is, when I eat food, how does my body feel? For me, eating vegetarian, my body feels the best. For my husband, eating meat makes his body feel the best. But there is one common denominator, no matter if you're going to go vegetarian or not, that was in both of them, and that is eating clean. Basically, the fewer the ingredients, if you can pronounce the ingredients of the things that you're eating and you know what the ingredients are, go for it and eat it. Flip over any sort of packaged food, even food that is labeled healthy. And if you can't read the ingredients and you don't understand it because you're not a chemist, don't eat it. It's as simple as that, okay? So the first thing you need to do is just open up yourself to spirit, or even just listen to your body, because technically we have a second brain in our gut. We have lots of neurons in there. And your gut, along with your body, will tell you what kind of foods feel best for you or not. So just open yourself up, listen, and maybe you already know that for right now. Okay, so you want to eat healthy. The other message that has been flooding me lately is this message of 80-20. And I've been really looking into that. What does 80-20 mean? Well, it can mean a lot of things for a lot of different people. And here's just a couple of the things that I think 80-20 means. It could be, for me, eating 80% raw vegan and 20% vegetarian cooked foods. It could be, for you, eating 80% vegetarian and 20% meat products. It could be eating 80% healthy, which is eating clean, eating only things that you can pronounce and know, and eating 20% of the things that you love, you know. Does it mean you never have to have an Oreo again? No, but maybe you want to do 80% healthy, 20% things that you want to do. Also, it could be 80% of what you eat determines your overall health, and only 20% is actually how you exercise and move. The other thing I've heard with 80-20 is our mind. 80% of how we feel is basically our mind. Are we connected with people? Do I believe what I'm doing is going to hurt me or not hurt me? And only 20% of what we actually eat makes a difference. So this 80-20 number has been coming up a lot, because if you think about it, Eskimos, let's say, who live in the north, do not have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So 80% is our mind. Do I believe the changes I'm making for me are actually helping and working? And 20% is actually what we're eating. On the other hand, keep in mind that clean eating really is proven to help you lose weight and maintain optimal health. If you're eating Oreos, junk food, and McDonald's, that 80-20 is just not going to work for you, because sometimes there are just truths, okay? All right, so that's kind of what I was going to talk about today. And I have a list on my website of possible topics that might be coming up throughout the next 52 weeks. I think next week might be tips for eating healthy, and maybe getting more into that 80-20%. Talking about how really we should be eating mostly fresh foods, very minimal frozen and cooked foods, and giving up as much processed foods as possible. So thank you for watching Detoxing with Jen, Juicing with Jen, and I'll see you next time.